Jan was born in a small village in the African savannah. Life was simple there. The village was surrounded by vast open fields, and the community was tight-knit. Everyone knew each other, and there was a sense of belonging that made the village feel like one big family.
I loved playing with my friends. We would spend hours running around, playing games and laughing. The sun was always shining, and the days felt endless. We'd run around under the sun. My parents were loving. They always made sure I was happy and safe. Our home was filled with laughter and warmth. They taught me about farming and working hard. We would work together in the fields, planting and harvesting crops. It was hard work, but it was rewarding. My parents always said that hard work was the key to a good life.
When Jan was 6, something terrible happened. The peaceful life they knew was shattered. His parents got very sick. It started with a fever, and soon they were too weak to get out of bed. The illness spread quickly, and there was little anyone could do. The village doctor tried to help, but he couldn't save them. Jan's world fell apart. He was all alone. The loss was overwhelming, and the loneliness was unbearable.
The villagers were nice. They tried to comfort me and make sure I was taken care of. They gave me food and a place to sleep, but it wasn't the same. I missed the warmth and love of my parents. The nights were the hardest, and I often cried myself to sleep. But it wasn't the same. I really missed my parents. I missed their love. I would look at their picture and remember the happy times we had together. I felt lost and alone. The village was the same, but my world had changed forever. The sense of belonging I once felt was gone, replaced by a deep sense of loss and loneliness.
Jan had to grow up fast. In his small village, life was already tough, but circumstances forced him to mature beyond his years. He faced challenges that many adults would find daunting. He left the village and went to the big city to find a job. The journey was long and arduous, filled with uncertainty and fear. He hoped the city would offer opportunities that his village could not. He was just a little boy, alone in a vast, unfamiliar urban landscape. The towering buildings and bustling streets were overwhelming. The city was scary and confusing. Every corner seemed to hold a new challenge, and every face was that of a stranger.
I did any job I could find. I washed cars, I carried heavy things, I worked from dawn till dusk trying to earn enough to survive. I asked people for food. Life was very hard. I was always hungry. Sometimes I went days without a proper meal. I slept on the streets. The cold, hard ground was my bed, and the night sky was my blanket. It was cold at night. The chill would seep into my bones, making it hard to sleep. I often shivered until dawn.
Jan met other kids who lived on the streets. They were all in the same boat, struggling to survive each day. They shared what little food they had and helped each other. In their shared hardship, they found a sense of community and support, but it was a tough life. Every day was a battle, and every night was a test of endurance.
I held on to hope. Despite everything, I believed that things could get better. Hope was the only thing that kept me going. I dreamed of a better future. I would often look at the stars and imagine a life where I didn't have to struggle. A future without hunger and fear. A future where I could be safe, happy, and free from the hardships that defined my childhood.
One day, Jan was asking for food outside a bakery. The yummy smell of fresh bread filled the air. He was so hungry he felt weak and dizzy. Suddenly, a kind hand touched his shoulder. He looked up and saw a woman with a warm smile.
My name is Brenda. I'm visiting from Canada.
Brenda felt very sad for Jan. She bought him some food and listened to his story.
I felt a little bit of hope. No one had ever been so kind to me before.
Brenda couldn't forget about Jan. She visited him every day, bringing him food and clothes. She helped him find a safe place to live. Brenda decided to help Jan come live with her in Canada. She wanted to give him a better life. It took a long time, but Brenda didn't give up.
I couldn't believe it. I was going to a new country. I would have a real home. I was scared, but also excited. I was so thankful to Brenda. She gave me a second chance.
Canada was very different. It was clean and safe, and the people were friendly. Jan started school and learned to speak English. He was a good student and made new friends. Jan never forgot how kind Brenda was. He worked hard to make her proud.
I finished university and started my own business. My bakery did really well. I was living my dream. I had escaped poverty. I helped people in my community, and my story inspired others.
Jan never forgot where he came from. His journey was filled with hardships and challenges that shaped him into the person he became. He remembered what it was like to be hungry and homeless. Those days were tough, and he often wondered if he would ever find a way out. He started a foundation to help street children in Africa. He gave them food, a place to live, and most importantly, hope for a better future and a chance to go to school. Education was a key part of his mission, as he believed it was the gateway to a brighter future. Jan's story shows us that even when things are very bad, there is always a way to turn things around. His resilience and determination were truly remarkable. One act of kindness can change everything. Jan's acts of kindness were not just random. They were deliberate and impactful, changing the lives of many.
My story from homelessness to hope can inspire us all. It shows that no matter how dire the circumstances, there is always a path to success.
Jan helped many people. His efforts were not just about providing immediate relief, but also about creating sustainable change. He showed everyone that with hard work and kindness, we can make the world a better place. His life was a testament to the power of perseverance and compassion.
Jan's story reminds us that we can all make a difference. Each of us has the power to impact the lives of others positively. He was so dedicated to helping others. He was truly inspiring. His legacy continues to motivate and encourage people to act with kindness and generosity.